Hey everyone, we've come to the quarterfinals of the Thanksgiving Top 100 Knockout Tournament, and my opponent here was FT29. He is one of my online friends from the Discord community. I've played him twice before, lost both times. One of those games was featured on this channel. He is just a very tricky opponent. He will push you around on milestones and awards and make life very difficult for you. And at the time of this game, he was ranked 4th on BGA, so it doesn't get much better than that. So this is a tough opponent. We're playing on the Elysian map again, and I'm not going to go too much into detail about the map since I've already done so, so let's jump to the hand. Looking at the starting hand, we have a choice between Point Luna and Helion. As I've said many times before, I'm not a big fan of Helion. And I think Point Luna, or I know that Point Luna is the best corporation in the game, according to the statistics. So as a default, we're going Point Luna. We have, well, let's first look at the preludes. Not great preludes at all. Orbital Construction Yard is a decent prelude if you can spend the titanium. Galilean Mining is okay. I think it's better than its reputation. I don't think it's completely hopeless. But since we already have titanium production with Point Luna and with OCY, we don't need 2 more titanium production. Going up to 4 titanium production is just overkill, unless you have a hand that's, you know, completely full of titanium targets, which we don't have here. Our problem is that the other 2 preludes are really bad. So Society Support is hands down the worst prelude in the game, so I would never pick it basically, unless you put a gun to my head. Mohole is not that much better. It's awful. It's really bad prelude. So even though I just said that picking Galilean and Orbital would be over-investing into titanium production, I sort of think that's what we have to do here. You could pick Helion and go Mohole, but as I've said before, even though Mohole gets better with Helion, it's still just not a very good prelude. So the combination of Point Luna and these titanium preludes, even if it's not ideal, I think it's just usually going to be much stronger than Helion with Mohole. Okay, let's look at the project cards. So the first one I notice is Acquired Company. Definitely a Point Luna card. It's a good Gen 1 play regardless, but just so much better as Point Luna since you get to draw a card. Open City is usually a pretty good card on the Elysian map, where you have awards that are centered around the board and the ground game. Extreme Cold Fungus, not a card I would usually keep unless I have a target that I can use it on. Though I see that Parker, aka Bugain, sometimes will do that on the Hellas map. I don't think, well, you could do it on Elysium as well, because you do have the Ecologist milestone. But Point Luna doesn't have a lot of starting capital, so I don't want to be keeping too many cards here, especially since we intend on playing Galilean Mining, which takes away 5 MC. So we have to be pretty restrictive. And then we get to Lava Flows. And Lava Flows is interesting because mainly for one reason, because of this tile right here, Olympus Mons. Like I said in my last Elysium video, this is the single best tile on any map in Terraforming Mars. So getting those 3 cards is just amazing. And you want to be getting them with a special tile, not with a city. And Lava Flows is the perfect tile to do that with. So we're definitely keeping that. Power Plant's almost always a keep. So let's move on to NRA. NRA is obviously the power card in our starting hand here, but we don't have any plant tags. Fortunately, we do have Inventor's Guild for some card draw, and we'll be drawing some cards with Point Luna as well. So there's a chance that we find some plant tags, but you never know. With NRA, sometimes you can go many generations without finding those tags. But if we do find them, the good news is that we have more than enough titanium to be able to easily play NRA once we have the 3 plant tags. Space Station is a card I'm usually not too excited about, but when we have this much titanium, then yes, I am keeping Space Station almost for sure. And then finally, Building Industries is some decent early development. It goes well along with Power Plant. So what are we planning to do here? So ideally, I would like to keep 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. But that's 24 MC, and then you subtract you add the cost of Galilean mining, that's 29 MC, which leaves us with only 9 MC in the first gen. So that means we can't even play Acquired Company. So there's just no way we can keep that many cards. So how many cards can we keep and still play Acquired Company? That would be 7 cards, I think. So 38 minus 21 is 17, minus 5 is 12. So yeah, we could keep 7 cards and play Acquired Company Gen 1. So that would be Acquired Company, Lava Flows, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could do that, and maybe that's the best line. I decided to do something a bit different because I'm the first player to act. I really want those 3 cards from Olympus Mons. If I need to wait until Gen 2, there's a pretty decent chance that my opponent will take those 3 cards in some way. And that's a swing of 6 cards. That's huge. So even though Acquired Company is normally a much better play than Lava Flows in Gen 1, like Lava Flows is usually not a good Gen 1 play because you're paying 19 MC for 2 production. But here with the 3 cards, I think it just might be worth it. So if we are going to play Lava Flows, how many cards can we keep? We can only spend 20 MC, and we're spending on 5 on Galilean. That means we can keep 5 cards only. So what 5 cards will we keep? I think you have to keep Acquired Company and of course Lava Flows. Have to keep NRA, that's 3. Then you have to keep Inventor's Guild for the card draw. And that only leaves us with 1 card, and that would probably be Space Station because Building Industries, I don't want to keep that if I'm not keeping the power. I can't really hope to find more efficient power than Power Plant. And if I have to let go of Power Plant as well, it's not the end of the world. So, but I think my win condition here with all of this titanium is to be able to use the titanium on many titanium targets. And if we're going to do that, then Space Station is gonna pay itself back and then some. So it's going to be a good Space Station. So I think those would be the 5 cards I pick then. And that's what I end up doing. Okay, I'm just going to do this. And then we see that FT is playing Vitor. I have a pretty good record against Vitor, against the strong players in these tournaments. So let's see. We drew Mining Area, by the way. Pretty good draw. I mean, I am intending on going on Olympus Mons, and we can do Mining Area on the tile next to it. Okay, and I play my Galilean Mining. He has Metal-Rich Asteroid and Smelting Plant, so pretty strong preludes there. Okay. I go on the cards and we draw Great Escarpment, Houseprinting, and Comet. So Comet is a very good card, especially on this map where you need to control the oceans, as we've talked about. Great Escarpment could be nice since we're planning to do Mining Area on steel here. And Houseprinting is kind of a mediocre card, but if we're getting a bunch of steel production, we can always play that for the point later. Then I skip because I have no cash left, and it's always interesting to see what Vitor funds. And Elysium is a tricky map to fund awards on. As I said in my last Elysium video, Estate Dealer is pretty much the only award that can be sort of reliable at the start, but I already placed one tile next to the oceans here. Vitor is typically not a strong ground game corporation. So he funds Desert Settler, and I think this happened in one of the videos by Fred Pacifist as well, when he was playing against Beans, where Beans funded Desert Settler as Vitor. I guess it's an award that makes sense because it's usually not an award you can push for early. So if I'm going more for a ground game, I want to go next to the oceans and then get the Estate Dealer. Whereas Vitor typically wants a longer engine-heavy game, and then if the game drags, then Desert Settler can be fought over. So there's some merit to funding Desert Settlers Vitor if you have nothing better. But I just pass, and he plays the Earth Catapult. Hate to see it. It's one of the best cards in the game. If you play it as your first card, you could argue that this is the best card in the game. So, yeah, I'd love to have that card. It's Point Luna. And then he plays the Fuel Factory for some production. And we go to the second gen. Of these cards, Herbivores has the highest ceiling. If we get our NRA online and a lot of plant production, then Herbivores could score a lot of points for us. Commercial District can sometimes be nice to get Olympus Mons, but we already took that tile, so it's less scary here, let's say. And we could take Commercial. If he takes Herbivores, we get the power back, but like we can't even afford those cards. So I think we got to take Herbivores here. We don't have any steel, so we're looking to play space cards, not building cards. And then Miranda is the card that usually would stick out here when both of us are kind of looking for Earth tags, especially me. Science is science, but he doesn't have any science tags yet, and this is not the most dangerous science card. Tardigrades might be the most annoying card to pass here because of Ecologist. This can be a relatively easy way to advance towards Ecologist, but I still take Miranda Resort because I have so much titanium and I intend on playing Space Station and Acquired Companies, so Miranda is probably going to be decent value. And he took Commercial District as expected, so I cut the power for him just to make it more difficult to play, but he already has power production, so maybe Permafrost could be considered, but it's really far away. Okay, we're very poor because of the lava flows in Gen 1. I mean, it's nice to get the cards, but lava flows is not like good development in Gen 1, so we're just very poor right now. Miranda Resort is almost free for us with all this titanium, so I think you have to keep that, and Herbivores is just such a high potential card. I would keep that as well. All right. He plays the space elevator, get some production going. Nothing special. It's decent development. I play my Acquired Company. Robert Construction is sort of a whiff, not what we're looking for. I'm mainly looking for plant tags here. If I find plant tags, three of them, I have more than enough titanium to be able to easily play NRA, but no luck so far. And of course he does play the tardigrades, and as Vitor you also get 3 MC back when you play tardigrades, so that makes it even better. Then he plays the Noctis City on the 3 plants. Like I've said before, this is generically I would say the best location for the city on this map. Okay, I play the Comet now that he has 3 plants. I was intending on passing this generation, but since he acquired 3 plants, I decided to play my Comet right away. Well, actually, now that I remember it, actually my plan here was to sequence it to place the ocean here and then get the rebates from mining area. And I didn't want to put the ocean down and risk him putting something here or something like that. So that's why I one actioned. Maybe I should have taken 2 actions there. So now I took 1 action and I blew up his plants, but it is what it is. Okay, I play the mining area for some steel production. So now I'm kind of hoping, since he played the space elevator, he is pretty likely to get steel production, and then I can create a scarp him. So that would be nice. But we just go to Gen 3 here, and some really good cards. I think you gotta take Deimos down, one of the best cards in the game. Big Asteroid is also really good. Heat Trappers can be annoying, actually. So if you look at our production line, we're only missing plant and energy to get Generalist. And we're probably getting plant production at some point because we're looking to play NRA. And energy is relatively easy to get, so passing this Heat Trappers is kind of annoying because we're one off this heat production bonus, and it's pretty likely that with a space event or something that will take the heat production bonus, and then he can just Heat Trappers us, but you still got to take Deimos down here. And this is kind of interesting. All these cards are sort of okay. I'd like to have some energy production. Maybe I can get Generalist. The oceans are important on this map, as I've said many times before. Fish could be decent enough when we have Deimos and heat is advancing relatively quickly. So I do take fish. I think you could argue for kind of all 3 cards there. Okay, so another interesting one. We know we gave him Commercial District, and with that and Lava Tube, he could potentially go up to, could close in on Specialist with his MC production, which is one of the easier milestones to get. I'm still not sure here. I think I took Lava Tube Settlement here because I wanted to have a city. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. In hindsight, maybe it would have been better to take Heat Trappers because it can get pretty awkward for me if I give him Heat Trappers. Anyway, those were the cards I picked, so I keep Deimos and Fish. Okay, so I didn't want to keep Lava Tube, I just wanted to cut it from him, it seems. He already played the city. Yeah, I think today, looking at this, I would have picked Heat Trappers instead. Let's see what happens. I play my card draw. It's kind of annoying because I'm still relatively poor, but I just don't have many great plays. I mean, I could play Miranda Resort for 2 production. I can't escarp him yet. Yeah, I mean, I could just pass, of course, but I really need to find some plant tags, so start on the card draw. Special Design is a bit of a whiff. I don't think I can afford to keep that card, even if it could allow me to play Herbivores or Fish earlier. I think I'm just too poor to keep that card. He activates Space Elevator, uses tardigrades, I pass. And he plays the Convoy from Europa. So he puts down an ocean here. So he's looking probably to get a granary down here. Okay. Then he plays the Commercial District. He could, of course, Commercial District himself, just in case, just to prevent me from nerfing this good tile here anyway. But he decides to go south. I mean, after all, he did fund Desert Settler. And now he's up to 6 MC production. And I'm kind of regretting I gave him a Commercial District. Okay. Next draft, some good cards. I mean, at least 2 of them. We don't really care about these 2 cards. But Asteroid I can use right away to blow up his plants and take the heat production bonus. Although I did just give him heat trappers, so that makes it less enticing. Advanced Ecosystems is always a good card. It's just a good scoring card. But I decide here that I have so much titanium that I need to make something happen and improve my situation by using that titanium to get some development. So I do take Asteroid. And we find some more good cards here. So Immigrant City can be nice, but Imported Hydrogen is just the best of these cards. So you have to take that. And I'm a little bit scared of what he took over that. Okay, never take underground detonations, but I'm not keeping Equatorial Magnetizer ever in this situation. So the question here is, do you keep Immigrant City? I think you do, and I think I did. Yeah, I think it's good enough to keep now that we have steel production. That's going to be a good late game city that we can play later. And here he did made sort of a surprising move to me. He just did a naked SP Granary. Yes, he gets 4 cash back, but it's not like he gets a conversion or anything to follow up that. So he mentioned this move to me after the game, thought maybe it was a mistake. His reasoning was that he wanted to prevent me from putting something here. But I mean, an SP Granary is also quite expensive, especially when he doesn't get like an instant conversion afterwards or anything. So yeah, it seemed kind of unnecessary to me. Okay, use the space elevator. Activate my card draw. Olympus Conference is a great card. We're Point Luna, so that will draw us a card. And with the effect from Olympus, we'll be drawing more cards later. And we can also use the Earth tag to make Miranda Resort a little better. Okay, so now I play the space station because I'm planning on playing Miranda Resort. He's just doing one action. And here I played house printing. Didn't really need to do that. I wanted to see if he was going to develop steel production so that I could create a Scarpim. That's why I made one action back, but he just passes. Maybe I should have played Olympus Conference here. Okay, so now that he passed and he can no longer heat trap us and he has 3 plants, I do decide I want to play my Asteroid on him, blow up more of his plants. Of course, this does set me up for that really annoying heat trappers that we gave him. So yeah, probably shouldn't have given him that. And now I can also play the Imported Hydrogen, get some more plants, and I find flooding, which is great because that means I can get more plants and get a granary conversion. So I just play that straight away on 2 plants here. It's a little annoying because I give him some really good rebates here next to a city, and I don't really have any way of nerfing those. So, but that's still really good value for me to get the conversion here. And I'm quite competitive right now on Estate Dealer. That's always nice, even though we can't fund it for 8MC. Now I also have a legend. That was something to consider. So let's just look quickly at the milestones. He's in the lead on Specialist. We're currently in the lead on Generalist, but like I said, he can put a wrench in those plans by playing Heat Trappers. He's leading on Tycoon, which is typical just Vitor stuff. And he's also leading on Ecologist. Okay, let's look at the draft. Not the greatest cards. Phobos can be decent enough for us. Although I think I took Phobos, but I think if I would have picked again today, I probably would have taken East Chasma for NRA. Oh, I took Biomass. Okay. Yeah. None of the cards are like super good or anything, but each of these 3 cards has their merits. Like Biomass, we can get some energy production. It comes online pretty soon. We can take away some of his plant production. It's a pretty good card. We do need energy for Immigrant City. Okay, we see Preds. Callisto and Pumping aren't really great cards, so you take Predators. And we don't want them to be eating our fish. Okay, and then I think Phobos Space Haven is fine here actually because we have so much titanium. So I do keep these 3 cards. Okay, we draw Iron Mining Industries. It's actually playable for us. That's the crazy thing, but it is Gen 5. So yeah, I skip it. If it was on Hellas, maybe you could argue for keeping that because it gets you closer to Rim Settler. With Miranda, I could have gotten Rim Settler, but on Elysium, it's Gen 5. This is more of a terraforming ground game type of map, so I have enough titanium targets at this point. We have Deimos, we have Phobos, we have NRA, so yeah, too much. Okay, I played a rover construction in anticipation of more cities, and he has Mars University, so yeah, it's Vitor. It's Vitor with Earthcat and Mars University and a pretty decent economy, so you're not exactly happy to see that. At least we have the only continuous card draw so far. He draws and discards, and then he plays the Heat Trappers. So super annoying because now we're not in a position to get Generalist. There's like no way we can get heat production here easily. So yeah, that milestone's pretty much out of the window, but I do claim Legend. He uses Base Elevator, skips. Okay, I pass. Okay, let's see what he does. He has a lot of money, so he plays Lagrange, or
Lagrange,
as they say in France. Good card. And he discards a card, and he plays the big asteroid on me, taking out my 3 plants, so that's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And then he plays Plantation. Good card for him. Gets Form C back in 2 plants. That was what I risked by putting these oceans here. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for him. That's also a an ecologist card, by the way. And he's also getting really close to Tycoon. So at the moment, it's looking most likely that he's going to get 2 milestones. And he's also in the lead on Desert Settlers. So that's kind of scary, especially when he has Earthcat and Marsu and all of that. So yeah, I'm not too optimistic right now. And he also plays the Ice Asteroid here. So the oceans are flying. But okay, we get this draft. This was really interesting. We're pretty close to Heather. Heather would be my first plant tag. I desperately need plant tags for NRA. But we gave Eos Chasma to him, or he cut it in any case, and there aren't that many playable plant tags here. I mean, stuff like Lichen, Adapted Lichen, obviously, and well, there's the Ocean plant tags, but not really finding them. But yeah, Mass Converter is scary. He has 2 science tags. He's Vitor. He has Marsu. He does only have 6 cards, and he doesn't have continuous card draw, so it's not that scary, but still pretty scary. And you also need to consider the Industrialist Fund award. I mean, Mass Converter is usually a huge card in the fight for Industrialists, so I'm really not happy to give him Mass Converter. Birds, also a great card. I'd love to have that, but in this situation, I think I decided I needed that tag for NRA. I'm not sure it's correct because it is Gen 6 and it's still only our first tag, and by the time we get NRA online, it might not be that good. So I'm not sure. You could argue for all of these cards. I mean, Media Archives, you can't really take Media Archives here, but it's a decent card for Point Luna. Okay, more science. Think you gotta take that. I mean, Underground City is annoying to give him. He's probably gonna play that. Here, Media Archives already is, well, it's minus 3 MC to buy it, and then it's cash neutral after that, but it's gonna be pretty good by the time this game ends. So Kind of annoying to give up this card as Point Luna, but Birds is such a great card. I think it's still Birds, but not 100% sure. But yeah, I think it's Birds. Okay, I do keep Gene Repair as well, since we have Olympus Conference. At this point in the game, I'm relatively rich, so I think I can afford that luxury. But okay, he standards another granary. So that yeah, he standards the granary, then he has 8 plants and he converts. Really? I mean, he just left us at 7% oxygen, so here I guess I could have taken the bonus temperature bump. Did I do that? I don't remember. It's been a while since I played this game. I skipped the second action. Interesting, because he doesn't have money to take the bonus. Okay, Hydrator's my steal. Sells it. I biomass combustus plant production. Maybe this is questionable in this case because we do have herbivores and we're going to 8% oxygen here. He doesn't know we have herbivores, but I'd rather play herbivores than biomass. But I'm thinking he's probably going to get more plant production anyway. And we also have birds, by the way. Okay, I play the Immigrant City here, so I want to actually fight for this Desert Settler Award and get a city of my own. And he plays the energy tapping on me. Annoying, but at least I got my city. Okay, now I play the Phobos Space Haven. I have so much titanium. Get some more titanium production, why not? Get some rover construction value. And then I standard the greenery for the bonus temperature bump. I could have waited on that since I'm first player next gen, but at least I get the extra production by doing it now. So I think being able to take the bonus temperature bump is definitely worth it there. And I would question if it was correct of him to allow that or whether he should have held off on it with his plants. Now he plays the underground city, gives me rover and immigrant value, so that's nice. So at least now I'm improving my economy. And I can play the heather, and I can also play Great Escarpment after he played the underground city. I was wondering whether I should, because it is Gen 6, so it's not the Great Escarpment ever, but it's okay, I guess. Okay, here we have some energy in Radcam and the ocean, but I think Trans-Neptune Probe is the only card that matters here. He has Marsu, and we know he has Mass Converter, and we have Olympus Conference, so it's nice for us. And then we get Protected Habitats. I mean, it's relatively late for that card, but we do have Predators and we have Demos down, so we definitely don't want his stuff to get protected. So I take the Protected Habitats. Then I think Fuel Generators is better than Black Polar Dust. Okay, I only keep those two. Okay, I draw pets, and we have some cities out already, but we are Point Luna, and I haven't played Miranda Resort yet, so it's always nice to get some more Miranda Resort value. So I think it's defendable to keep that, even though we're not super rich or anything. Play my Protected Tabs. He plays Nitromoss, and you know I like to see that, but not because now I can use my herbivores on him. But first, I play the Olympus Conference. We draw Design Microorganisms, and it is still playable. It is very late to play Design Microorganisms in Gen 7, but you could consider it. But first, I play the Trans-Neptune Probe, draw Cartel, and honestly, pretty good Cartel. So now I can, well, he claims ecologist, but he didn't really do anything special so far this gen. Yeah, I also claimed Tycoon, by the way. So he got 2 milestones as expected. I didn't really have any way of fighting back on that. So I think now, since he's up 10 points, my best chance here for a comeback is to find some way of getting NRA online and then herbivores and then just scoring on the board and fighting Desert Settler, because right now it's 2-2. So I think we have a chance there. Okay, but I play my pets. We draw mag field generators, which is kind of useless. And I play the cartel for 5 MC production. That's gonna pay off in 2 gens, so I think that's worth it. And that means we can, after he adds the tardigrade, and he does play Methane from Titan, by the way, so he's getting his plant production up as well, but that's just something I can use my birds on, so don't really mind that. Okay. I play my Miranda Resort for 5 productions. That's pretty nice. We had excess titanium anyway. Okay, we go to the next gen. And here it's Lake Marineris, where it's minus 14 degrees, so it's not the greatest Lake Marineris, but the other cards aren't really that interesting, so I just take Lake. And this one is relatively interesting because he has tardigrades, so Ants is really tempting. Of course, Farming is a good card, and it is a plant tag, but I think if you're using Farming to enable NRA, that's just a little bit too late for NRA anyway, so I take Ants. That's going to be score some points. Okay, I keep those 2 cards. Okay, he plays the breathing filters, and now the science is kind of rolling in, and he's using his Vitor effect to get free MC back, and he's closing in on a mass converter, and he plays Media Group, which is a good card. I'd love to have that card at this point, Luna. But what can he do? I draw SF Memorial. I think this is fine. We have 3 steel production at this point, so I need to find some plant tags mainly. I do end up playing the Design Microorganisms here in Gen 8. That's very late for that card, but it's kind of a desperation move. I have the herbivores, and I really want to fight him on the ground, and I think basically I need to win Desert Settler here to win the game. So I really need that plant production, and this will also play nicely with my herbivores. So even it's a really expensive Gen 8 play, I still think it's worth it. He plays Business Contacts, gets some Media Group value, activates the Space Elevator. Okay, I play my SF Memorial, more desperation, but it's just Power Grids, which is useless, unfortunately. But I do get to play the herbivores this gen. That's nice. Which means he won't get a free granary conversion next gen. Okay, and then we also play the Ants, and now we're just being super annoying, I imagine. Take away his tardigrades. I mean, it's not the most valuable microbes he has there, but getting half a point per gen is still pretty good for me. Okay, so Hackers, that's too late, even if I love that card. Asteroid Mining is also quite late. Even, I mean, we do have a ton of titanium, but I want to be using that on NRA and Demos Down, not on Joves. Sponsors is basically an expensive card at this point because it's too late to really care too much about the MC production. But Artificial Lake is a bit interesting, so I think I took that because usually this is a pretty bad card, but specifically on Elysium, Artificial Lake can be quite powerful in the fight for a state dealer. That's kind of the most dangerous card for that milestone. So at least having control over that card is good. Okay, take fusion power. Sponsors, not the most exciting cards. I think I kept Artificial Lake if I remember. Yeah. Keep that because with only 3 oceans left, I think it's unlikely that we're getting full Lake Marineris value. So maybe we'll just play Artificial Lake instead. And maybe, just maybe, Desert Settler will be a fund. Okay, but first things first, I play my Demos down because he has 7 plants. So it's time to do that. That is great. And now I play a city because at this point, I believe I ended up placing the city here. Yes. So another Desert Settler tile. It's a couple of points. And yeah. Maybe a State Dealer will get funded, but I think seeing as Desert Settler is already funded, I think that's the one we need to fight for. And this was the best city spot, so I just felt like I needed to take that. Our plants are protected anyway. Okay, he activates stuff, and I draw a card. And Inventory Workers is really nice. That'll allow us to play some cards because we don't have a lot of money right now. Okay, I convert down here, just taking more Desert Settler tiles. I'm now up by 4-2, so it's looking pretty good. I activate my ants. We skip, we just do 1 action. Now he plays the giant ice asteroid. My plants are protected, but it's still a good card. And then he also gets... I believe the bonus ocean. Yeah, he standards for the bonus ocean, taking the last ocean there. So even though he didn't destroy any of my plants, that's just really good value. And as you can see, he took the lead there. But then I used the opportunity to fund Industrialist. Okay, let's assess the Industrialist situation. I have 3 steel production. He has 1. He's used all his steel, but I currently have 7 steel. My hand doesn't have any steel targets, well, except for Artificial Lake, but he just killed Artificial Lake. So here I'm probably going to be happy to just bank up steel. Now we have to remember that we gave him Mass Converter, which is 6 energy production. But the nice thing about energy production for me is that it doesn't, the energy resources get moved over to heat. So even if he does play that card, he's only getting 6 energy resources in the final, after the final production phase. Whereas I can just keep stockpiling steel. And I also have some aces up my sleeve, or at least I have Beam from Foreign Asteroid that I can play if I'm desperate enough. So I feel relatively confident, and of course, right after that, he plays Industrial Microbes. He probably wouldn't have played that otherwise, but it's clear that he wants to fight back on that award. But then he plays Shuttle, so that's why I play the energy production. Okay, I pass, and he plays Asteroid Mining. It's a very late asteroid mining, which tells me he probably has at least 1 Jovian multiplier, I would imagine. The game is dragging on a little bit, but it's only Gen 9, and you know the oceans are done, temperature is almost done, so we only have the oxygen. So a little bit surprising to see such a late asteroid mining from him. But okay, he does have, he gets Vitor value, and he gets the Earthcat discount and so on. Okay. Virus is a good card, but he can't use Virus on me. And Investment Loan is extra cash for me, and I draw a card. So I think it's got to be Investment Loan here. And yeah, there's my finally a plant tag, Noctis Farming. Really not too excited about the Gen 10 Noctis Farming, but I think we still take it. And he, yeah, I didn't take Investment Loan. I took Virus, actually. Interesting. I'm not sure. I think looking back at it, I probably would have taken investment loan. But anyway, he took solar wind power. See, probably because he's looking at mass converter online. But I'll happily take investment loan, and I keep these 3 cards. That's good. It's a good draft for me, I'd say. Okay, plays solar wind power. Cycles with Marsu. And he plays the Radcam factory. So he's not like desperately fighting on industrialists. So he's spending his energy production, using his steel. I think it would be a mistake here for him to fight me too hard on an industrialist when I'm sitting at 10 steel. And I probably, like, when I fund that, I probably have something to back it up. Okay, draw a card. It's Toll Station. Actually, not the worst Toll Station. He has 6 space tags, but yeah, it's Gen 10, and it's looking like we'll probably end this game in Gen 11, and then it's just not worth it, so. Okay, I do play the investment loan, and we draw kelp farming, and that's just an absolutely huge draw for us. Oceans are done. It is relatively late for kelp farming, but it's more plant production. We have herbivores, and this will get us NRA as well. So yeah, that's still a really good kelp farming. One of the best cards I could have hoped to find there. So I indentured the kelp farming, go up to 6 plant production. He plays the release of inert gases. I guess with Media Group and Earthcat you can do that, but it's not the most scary play. Okay, I take an ant. He passes. So he passed with 35 MC, which tells me he doesn't have a lot of stuff to do at the moment. So that's good news for me. Okay, I play Monoxys farming with steel. So think here before he has mass converter. I can still allow myself to spend 5 steel since he spent his steel. It's always a difficult balance whether you should spend the resources or just keep them to keep the award safe. But I decided money was relatively important here. But yeah, now I can convert a greenery. I did that. Yeah, so now I converted up on 4 cash and 2 steel. So I can use that to fight for industrialist, get 4 cash back, and also potentially fight for estate dealer. And I think now that I get NRA and kelp, I think Desert Settler is looking really, I would say, safe for me. I think I'm going to win Desert Settlers, so yeah. Okay, I play the NRA. Now we're going up to 10 plant production, and that's really, really good. Then we also play fish on him. That's also really good. So he doesn't really have the plant production at this point to fight us on Desert Settlers. That's the main thing that's keeping me optimistic here. And just to make things better, we find insects in the draft as well. Not the greatest insects ever, but still gonna take that, obviously. And here I think the city is probably the most relevant card, so take Corporate Stronghold. It's not the greatest city. I think often it's just better to standard a city rather than playing this card because it comes with 2 negative points. Okay, and we can take Moss as well for some extra insects value. And we keep those 2 cards. Okay. So now I can play Virus for 5 plants. Really painful for him. So maybe it was correct to take Virus instead of Investment Loan. I'm really not sure. I draw a card. It's Lightning Harvest. Kind of useless, I would say. But yeah, relatively rich now. But that's a little bit too much probably. He standards a city here. This one was a bit strange to me. I mean, this is going to be... Well, I guess it can be 4 points. You get a card, but you could also just go here and then get, which would potentially be a 6-point city. And then you get the 2 cards afterwards and maybe a steal and so on. So I'm not sure I agree with that placement. But I guess it was a desperation move. I mean, it seems like his hand is relatively empty. I convert. So now I convert in the south because he's telling me that he's still intent on fighting Desert Settler, at least making it somewhat awkward for me. So I standard one more city here. So at this point, I have so much plant production. I think these cities are going to score quite well. And we have Immigrant City, we have Rover Construction, we have Pets. So these are some pretty good cities, even if I need to standard them. I have the cash to do so. So all of a sudden, I'm in a 9-point lead. He standards a city this time. But now he goes up on the oceans, so he's pretty much given up on Desert Settler, but he wants to maybe fund the State Dealer and get some value here. But this is also giving me Rover, Immy, Pets value, so I'm not so sure it's in his best interest. But yeah. Okay, we play the insects, go up to 15 plant production. And yeah, he placed adaptation technology. I guess he put the city here on the card and just in pure desperation mode. He played 2 cities on cards. So yeah, I didn't really notice this as I was playing the game, but yeah, his play seems really desperate here. So he must have been quite unlucky with the cards he drew from RSU and so on. He did find ecological zone. He puts that, where did he put it? Yeah, I put that here, also on a card. Okay, I can use my ants and use my fish. We gave him farming, so he plays that. And then he plays the mass converter. So it's a little bit scary because of industrialist, but I do have 11 steel that I've hoarded. And now I also have peroxide power. We have beam from a 4M asteroid. So I'm confident that I can win industrialist as long as I just don't mess up, basically. Okay, now I finally get the draw up to play the predators because he played ecozone. But he has imported nitrogen, really good card. He gets some tardigrades, gets some animals on ecozone. But I'm still in the lead. We can't end this gen, but it's looking like we can probably end into a win next gen, the way it's going. He passes and we pass. Okay, so we're going into what I assume to be the final generation. There are no oceans left, but I think Large Convoy is still a pretty good card. We have 1-point animals. Arctic algae is dead. Small animals could be interesting. I think it's Large Convoy here. We have enough titanium to play that. And then this one was interesting. Kind of surprising that he gave us Nuclear Zone because here I was sitting and calculating how I would be able to end the game. But Nuclear Zone just makes that so much easier. And I can put it on 6 cashback probably, and we draw a card. So yeah, while Alloys is kind of annoying to give him when he has Mars-U and a lot of minerals, I think you gotta take Nuclear Zone here, and then we take the small animals. So here I think you keep Large Convoy and Nuclear Zone. That's what I did. Okay, he converts between his cities. That's good. But yeah, and he plays Mangrove. This is kind of playing with fire since he gave us Nuclear Zone. So now I convert down in the south, just cementing Desert Settler, getting a herbivore. Then I play the Nuclear Zone because I see that I can get 6 cash back next to a city. I draw a card, Dev Center, which is kind of useless. And now we're just 1 temperature bump away from ending the game, so we can easily end the game. And we're only up by 1 point, but we have more cash. We haven't played large convoy. We have all this plant production. We can convert next to our cities with herbivores. So, and we even have birds. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I've won this game. So I just need to play my hand and SP an asteroid and I win. And that's it. Okay, he plays advanced alloys that we gave him. I'm not too afraid of that. Activates tardigrade. I'm just biding my time. Micro mills is useless. I convert a greenery. So now I'm up by 3 points and things are up by 4 points actually. Things are looking really good. I just add a fish. Use my preds, get some more points. We're up by 6 points. He plays the advanced ecosystems, which is a good point scoring card, obviously. Then he plays ICS, so yeah, big point bombs from him, and suddenly he's up by 2 points. But I'm still getting, with my 15 plant production, I'm still getting 2 more greeneries here, and I have a lot of cash left, so not too worried. Then I can spend all my titanium, large convoy, and get 4 animals and predators, so can use my ants. All of a sudden I'm up by 4 points, so, and I still have all my money, my MC at least. But then he plays war import from Europa, a Jovian multiplier, and then he plays terraforming Ganymede. So yeah, all of a sudden he's up by 6 points with his 2 Jovian multipliers. Play my birds. Activate the birds, so he's not getting another greenery. I made sure of that with birds, unless he SPs for it. Then he funds benefactor. Yeah, he's winning that. And then he plays the urbanized area, one of the better cards he could have had here. Places that there for 2 points. So all of a sudden, my man is up by 12 points. And I'm like, how did this happen? I was like, I played the nuclear zone pretty much believing it was an easy win for me. All of a sudden, I need to score 12 points. And that's not so easy. So, yeah. I just sell out cards and SP a greenery, get some herbivores value. Setting up a 3-point city here. He placed a mineral deposit. He told me after the game that this was kind of his card that he'd saved to flip industrialists, maybe. So it won't flip industrialist, but at least it will make it more difficult for me to play some of my steel targets. I don't have the greatest steel targets, but like solar power, Textras, artificial lake, even mag field generators I could potentially play here. All score some points, but I can't easily play them as long as he's keeping me sort of at bay with his steel and energy. Okay, I standard a city. And I still think I'm winning, but yeah, so I need to score 6 more points, which is it looks like I'll be able to do. Just selling off some cards, but then he played Media Archives, and I'd completely forgot about this card that I passed him all a while back, and all of a sudden he has 25 MC. And I'm sitting there thinking, can he even SP Asteroid, like, to just end the game and win? And like, what is happening here? But if we look at the situation here, if he SPs Asteroid, he goes to 115 points. I'm getting 1 more greenery here. What I can do is I can SP a city. I can sell off an SP a city here. That gets me 1 more pet point, so that's 3 points for this city. And then I get 2 more greeneries, 1 here and 1 between my cities. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and then another herbivores point, so that's 8 points. So yeah, even with just an SP city and converting my greeneries, I'm going up to 115 points, which means that he can't SP asteroid here, basically. So once again, city is 3 points, greeneries are 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 7, and then 8 with herbivores. Yeah, I'm actually going up to 160, not 115. So I'll be 1 point ahead of him just with an SP city, and I can probably fit in one of the building tags for 1 extra point. So he can't end, and he sees that, so he SPs greenery, which is unfortunately 3 points for him. So now I need to score 9 points, and that's not easy. I can SP city, I can get up to 116, like I said, but then I need to play 1 building card. So if I do that, let's see here. What's the tiebreaker like? He's going to be at 66 MC. If I use all my money, I'm going to be at 69. So I do win the tiebreaker. So how much steel can I spend? I guess... Yeah, he's going to 7. He's going to 12 resources on industrialists. I'm going to 19. So I can spend... I can spend 6 steel. And I get an extra steel here from the city. So, yeah. I didn't realize all of this during the game. Even if it was a turn-based game, we were playing in real time. But I see now that I could have ended here. It's kind of annoying that I didn't. But yeah, if I sell 1 card, SP City, and use 6 steel on solar power, I convert twice. I end up on 117, but then I win the MC tiebreaker. Pretty sure I have that right. But yeah, I didn't do that. Here it looks like he has more points because he just tied industrialist after I used my steel. But yeah, I decided here to go another gen. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I didn't realize before looking at it now. I even went through the replay a couple of times, but I didn't notice I could actually end the game here. So that would have been a nice end just to calculate the MC tiebreaker. But anyway, take AI Central. If he decides to give up on Industrialist, which he probably will, then he could easily afford AI Central, and there's just no point giving him that to him, although I have no intention of playing that myself. Viral Enhancers gives me an extra plant and a cycle. Algae. I keep just Viral here. I think it's a bit too late for Algae. And I activate my card draw. It's useless. I play Dev Center. So this was probably not necessary. I think it's... I mean, I can use Steel on this, but I don't think it's worth it just to draw 1 card. I think I was just a bit stunned here that he was able to prevent me from ending the game in Gen 12. That was really surprising. And well done on his part to be able to do that. But he raises temperature now. He pretty much has no choice. I draw a card, but even if I had to go another gen, my scaling here is just so good that I pretty much win. I'm going to have 30 plants and all these animals and stuff. So I just take one of his animals, take a birds. He plays the NRB because he has nothing better. I take a fish. I convert to greenery. Where did I go? Here. Yeah. He plays the restricted area down here. It's a bit of a desperation move. I play viral enhancers. I don't think that was necessary. I'm getting an extra plant, and I'm getting exactly 24 plants after I take this one. But I could have just played the city here. Then I get enough plants without viral. I do draw a card, but yeah. I think the cash was worth more than the cards here, so I don't think that was the most optimal play. But my scaling here is just so good, I think I win anyway. He's playing research, just drawing cards. And I place the AMC to get some Jovmalt value, but it's not gonna be enough, I imagine. I play this city here. I guess I didn't notice the city in Gen 12. That's why I didn't end. That was the best scoring I had, I think. He sells the cards, and we're just doing one action here because it's getting down to the wire. He activates wife just to stall because he didn't have any titanium targets, I imagine. And he sells a plant and skips. I sell a plant. I just need to do some steel and industrialist math just to make sure I don't blunder that award, because that would just flip the game in his favor. Place windmills. I sell cards. He plays a greenery. Here. Skip. I SP greenery myself here. So this is scoring quite well with my cities and with herbivores. Skip. He plays lichen, which is yeah, it was an extra point on ecological zone there. And now I sell off my cards. He passes. So here my best scoring is just SP greenery. And here I think I could have played tech stress. So he's going up to 8 to 14 on industrialist. I'm going to 19, so I can spend 4 steel. And no, I couldn't afford it. Forget about that. Anyway, I convert my last 2 greeneries next to my cities, and that's going to score enough points that I do end up winning the game. Bit of a strange game. He had a very strong start with his Spytor, Earthcat, Marsu, but then I just found all of this bioscaling, and look at this herbivores. Actually 6 points, almost 7. 4 points on pets, 3 on ants, 7 on predators. So really good bioscaling. Of course, I could have ended it in Gen 12, and that's kind of pissing me off. I wasn't able to see that. I should have seen that. But I knew that if we went to Gen 13, it would be a relatively easy win for me in any case. So yeah, I'm happy to finally have beaten FT. Didn't think it would happen, especially with that start of this. And that means I advance to the semifinals, where I'll be playing against Fred Pacifist. So that'll be a rematch from our last tournament. So hope you'll stick around for that. Maybe he will cover the game himself, but we'll see. Most likely I will cover it as well. So see you around. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day.